right, real quick, our preferred partners. They're not random sponsors. They're companies that have already proven they help indies win. So we want to share something that might change how you think about scaling. You don't need to hire to scale media. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but that's exactly what over 50 indie agencies discovered with Path Labs. They basically become an extension of your team. No headcount increase, no benefits to pay, no management overhead. Look, we all know media execution is getting harder and more fragmented every day. New platforms, new formats, new requirements. It's exhausting. Path Labs simplifies all of that so your team can focus on what they're good at: strategy, creativity, and growing client relationships. They give you a single point of entry to all the media tech and activation you need. No separate contracts with a dozen platforms, no extra hires, no tech overwhelm. Want proof it works? Over $200 million in media spend managed. Over 6,500 campaigns launched annually. 90% agency partner retention. This is their human-led model in action. Reliable execution, fast onboarding, and people who answer the phone when things get a little crazy. If you're ready to pitch and win bigger media opportunities, find out more about Path Labs at indieagency.partners.
Hello and welcome to Meet an Indie Agency. Usually we go big, but today we're going small. Actually, we're going tiny because we have TiNY on. We have Michael, Mike, and Tom, all here from New York City. Welcome, guys. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. See, Mike's even representing. We got it. Yeah. Love this. All right. So TiNY has been around how long now?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. Okay, great. And how many people in the agency?
Well, there's the three of us, and then the rest of our workforce are, good freelancing friends.
Excellent. Love to hear it. All right, so let's start the questioning. What's your agency best known for?
Well, I like to say that we're best known for moving fast and making things. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? But we kind of have a rule that when we want to do something, here's our agency structure. We ask each other, and as long as one other person agrees, that's democracy, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Mm-hmm. So as long as somebody gets one vote, we do it. And that goes everything from a LinkedIn post to, are we going to answer this RFP, to, are we charging this much? Are we going to do it pro bono? All those questions get answered by just one other of these two guys. If I say
so, we can never have an even number of partners. That would destroy the whole business plan.
Yeah, then there's no veto power.
There is a third part to that, though: moving fast, making things, and having a great time doing it. That is the rule. If it's not going to be fun, if it's not going to be good work, we're not likely to do it.
There you go. So, feeding on that, would you consider those your three core strengths, or what do you consider TiNY's three core strengths?
Well, there's definitely that nimbleness, that speed, that being a good hang for sure, right? But really that comes just with being open, right? Being nimble, being open to others and welcoming to, people that work with us and our partners. We have a penchant for over delivery even before we take the brief. When we meet a new client for the first time, we usually bring ideas just in that initial. And I think because of the nature of how we are as people, it's humanity is the other big one. We teach, we train, and we work to meet people where they are. If it's people who are working for us, and certainly our clients where they are budget-wise, time-wise, process-wise, we don't have that kind of rigidity that a lot of other places do, certainly that the big places do.
Right.
Yeah, and I think humanity is our biggest asset. And I think that is the perfect thing to have as your biggest asset right now, because everything is, AI on rails. So we like to meet people and talk to them about things and then hear those things. And as soon as we have ideas, we start rattling them off and we start giving them to them. So that's where that comes from, is just a curiosity and a need to understand. So what are our three things? We said a lot of words, but our three things are openness,
humanity,
over
Over
and
delivery.
over delivery.
There you
Openness,
go.
humanity, over delivery. Oh-ho. Yeah,
You need to trademark that.
we just
Done.
made that up,
Or
There
just
you
ooh.
Ooh.
obviously.
It could be ooh. Which
Oh, it could be
used
ooh,
out
but
of
that's
home.
out of home, right?
Yeah.
Or who.
It could be who.
Do people still call it that?
All right, let's get to the indie portion of this because you guys are staunchly independent and love it, and you've always been great to work with and work and just be around. I love you guys. So tell me a little about what makes being indie important to you.
I'll start with this one. I think that, and Michael has a good story that's going to follow this up. I know the story, so I'm jumping in first. One thing that makes us truly independent and why we like being independent, is that we don't really care about TiNY. I know that sounds strange, right? But we're not here to build the TiNY brand. Sure, do we love LinkedIn? Do we try to own LinkedIn? That's more for us to get our creativity out every day. And yes, we do need to be present in order to be in business. But we're not in it to build up our offices. We don't have any. We're not looking to be bought any day. That said, if somebody wants to buy us, we are available for $25 million a piece. We're really, the truth is, we're not here to build up the brand of TiNY, as it were, right? We're here for our clients. And I know that sounds like a sales pitch, but it's not. I mean, we never really were part of our agency founders or foundations at any agency we worked at. We worked at the biggest agencies. We can all rattle them off: JWT, BPO, Vayner, all those things. But we were never drivers of those agencies. Right. And if we were, we couldn't behave the way we do at TiNY, which is to care solely about our clients' problems and needs and solving them, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a big one, right, Michael?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it really is about taking on the clients and the work that we want to do and being able to help them in the ways that Michael was describing, the ways they need. We've all been in these places where there's an opportunity that feels like it's coming in that we really want to do and our team really wants to do, but there wasn't enough money and margin there for the agency we were at to take it on, which, I always looked at as, a paid opportunity at the very least, and an opportunity to do great work with a team that wanted to do it for a client that wanted us to do it. So, we felt like we missed a lot of opportunities working at these places to do great things and have, fun making work. We didn't get to do it. We get to decide. We get to do that, whether there's a huge budget, a medium budget, or even no budget. We get to make those decisions.
It's great.
Yeah. And we see what happens to people who aren't indie. What, the holding companies have shown us what happens to those people. They can't even talk on LinkedIn. They have to, like, all of their posts seem to now be, just cheerleading.
Right.
So we don't want to do that. We want to be real.
Yeah. Now we want to be able to express ourselves, like, as individuals, as an agency, and through the work. And this gives us, the ultimate opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned your clients. So what do your clients think about, they come to you because you're independent? They come to you. Why are they coming to you? And is it being an independent important to them?
I don't think that it's independence that is so important to them. I think that they come to us, as we talked about when we were building the agency, for three reasons: Michael, Tom, and Mike. Right? Mm-hmm. Because they know how we're going to treat them, because they know we're going to be fair, because they know the way we're going to work with them, and the way we're going to, run at something until there's nothing left. We're going to run all the way and do all the work and do all the extra. They know they're going to get great ideas, great value, great relationship, great help, all the extras. And that's why they keep coming back, in my opinion, right? Every client that we have had that started with us 2 years ago, 1 year ago, whenever, has come back in that time. And I think that's a testament to why.
Yeah. And almost all of them have known us from our big agency days and worked with us in our big agency days, and know that we, even in all of that chaos, pulled it through. And we were, depending on the different situation, we came through for them. So they believe in us as human beings, and, that's awesome.
Yes, I think that also the fact that we have this model of zero to little overhead, I think our annual, what we owe, Michael, like 10 grand a year for subscriptions, that type of thing. And you guys are included. money well spent.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. So we spend every dime on the talent and the productions, right? So it's all kind of left on the table for the client. They can see it all. They know that too. I think that, a lot of clients, sure. Do they want to go see an agency that's established and be pampered and go into a conference room that has, pre-made sandwiches? That's nice. And a lot of clients do like that and demand it. But those who don't really care about that and they just want to see all of their dollars working really, really hard, I think that's attractive too, because those of them who know us already, they know they're getting the same thing they got. We're still the same tiny team that they knew before, and we can assemble the talent and we can scale up, by the way, as big as it gets. They have the budget, we have the talent to back that up. So they don't really miss anything by other than, is it nice to have a barista full time? Sure.
We sprung for a yard of nachos.
We did.
For one of
We've done things like that. We will take you to a ball game.
It's pretty pricey there. Yeah. Pretty pricey.
We'll take you out to a ball game. But do we own a stadium? No.
No.
We don't own a stadium.
We know where all the good ones are, though.
Yeah, it'd be such a tiny stadium anyway.
Right. Because I have a model of it, a scale model. But
perfect.
Maybe the main reason, we like to say we're a great hang.
Yep.
Just a great hang.
Which sounds stupid, but is actually what you want, right? When you're interviewing somebody, what do they say? Would you want to spend 3 hours on a plane with this person? Like that is really an asset. And a lot of agencies don't have that.
That's true.
They're not fun hangs.
You've said why a brand should work with you. Now, what have you learned from some of the brands you've worked with, and how has it helped shape TiNY as an agency? Gotcha.
We learned nothing.
That's a good one. That wasn't on the list, Kyle. That wasn't.
Yes, it is.
It is now.
You know what? We've, I think, running our own agency and working with the clients that we've had, we've learned to be even, more open to different scenarios based on, what a client needs, their different ways of working and how they're set up. So while we came into it being open-minded about, our approach and how we would work with clients, I think we've become even more open to ways of working. And it's become clearer that the needs on the client side are so much faster, right, than they've ever been, where everything had become, project-based 10 years ago. And the need for people who really care about their business is greater than ever, because you either have to pay a ton for that, for people to pretend to care, or you have to have people who really care and want to help you day to day. And, that's always been true to us. That's been a guiding light for us.
We've also learned that things that we just know how to do that we have done in the past, like teaching classes, are actually valuable to our clients. One of them, American Century Investments, had us come in and do a class with their internal folks, with their in-house agency, to sort of show how we think on our feet and how we're like, okay, when we get a brief, what do we do? How do we do it? And Mike teach a class both at House, at housenyc.com, and at BIC, the City College program. And so we learned that everything that we have in these three noggins is useful to our clients. So we're starting to think about how else we can help them.
Good. Love that. Let's talk a little about talent. You're unique in that it's the three of you and then a bunch of freelancers. But say there's a freelancer out there and he would love to work with TiNY. Why should they put you on their list?
Michael, I know you have an answer. I'm just going to lead in, though, as I usually do for you, which is that the minute that, first of all, we build scopes together, right? So we turn immediately to our talent and we say, are you willing to do X for this? The minute they say yes, they're now partners. And I think that's pretty attractive. Nobody works for us. Of course, we're going to say yes or no. The final say yes or no on things, just because, you have to choke some throat, right? But ultimately, we do behave that, There's no level. Now, there might be a level in pay structure only because if you've only started, you come out of school, we do hire interns. We've hired people out of our classes before. They're not going to make as much as somebody who's been working 25 years. That said, they have the same say, if you will.
Yeah, I think that.
And they know how much everybody else is making. And
yeah, no, we're really transparent about it. Sorry, Tom. We're very transparent about what we're taking in from the client, what everybody's getting. And like Michael said, when you're part of the team, you're an automatic partner and you have a voice in what we're doing. You're not just taking orders and designing things or writing things or editing things and changing things. You're a partner on the team, and what you say matters. And we don't stick people into specific lanes. If you're a strategist with a great creative idea, awesome, right? If you're creative that, wants to do production, awesome. You want to be part of that. Any part of the project that you want to put your hands on, you're welcome to. So, we let people really, explore their full capability and what they want to do and how they want to do it. And I'll say, like, ultimately, these two guys let me write stuff. So there's, there it is in real time.
He's also an incredible actor. Look at him. Look at that handsome face. Look at that.
The other thing is, and this is part of our model too, that we sell to clients, is that depending on how deep you want to go, our bench is very, very deep. We've been doing this long enough between the three of us. If there's a freelancer out there that we don't know, reach out now, but we think we know the ones. We know most of them. The point is that we hire bespoke teams. And I know everybody says that, but we really do care about what our freelancers care about. So let's say it's a sports league. We know the people that have worked on various sports leagues in various capacities. So we bring them to the table for that because the client loves it. They love it. They want to do it. It's just a win-win for everybody. That's the beauty of also not having people on staff, right? Is that we don't have to worry about what am I going to give Tom to do? I have something for Tom. It's completely different mindset.
The little secret of all agencies and all creativity since, Don Draper days is that the same 50 people write all the ads, right? Is like every big agency has the same 50 freelancers that are, and a lot of them will just hire them. They call it permalance, and they'll just get them on their staff. And that way they hold on to them, but they're all double dipping, triple dipping, and doing everything. They are just really good. And we are those people. And we know those people. We hang out with those people. So we get all those people to work on stuff. They're amazing.
There you go. You guys are connected.
We're connected is what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're old.
What are you going to get Tom to do, by the way? I mean,
I can't get him to
well,
do
I'm now the TiNY CMO. So I'm the one who didn't read your email. So I'm going to get better at that. That's my job, is to get better at that.
Thanks a lot, Tom. We appreciate
and I think I'm gonna be great at it. I think I'm gonna be a great
I have no
CMO.
doubt. I have no doubt. All right. Now we get to have even more fun than we've been having. Yes, it gets to that next level because we're going to play Weirdos, Misfits, or Underdogs. So this is the time when you tell us, are you a weirdo, a misfit, or underdog, or maybe some combination therein?
Can we each take one?
Yep. You go right ahead.
So we're definitely an underdog.
Yeah, we're underdogs for sure.
Yeah, collectively weird underdogs, but underdogs. And I think that comes from our individual roots. Mike started as an account guy and wanted to become a writer, and he had to work his way and prove his way into the creative department. Tom started off in direct and wanted to work in brand and had to prove himself into that role. And of course he did that, both of them, a long, long time ago. I started a really small agency in DC running an intern group that all came to New York and said, you should be here. And I was like, can I work in New York? Then a big agency, then an independent agency, then a digital agency, then run our own agency. We've all had to prove ourselves along the way. And I think that drives us to this day.
That is underdoggy for sure. I definitely tinge you with a little weirdness. So, but
yeah, I did say the only reason why we're not misfits is because we desperately tried to fit in at all those places, and I think we did a fairly good job, which is why we have a deep, Rolodex. And for the kids out there, Rolodex is a contact list.
That's right. It was you rolled it. So it
Yes.
had the cards and they would
I think I still have mine
The
somewhere.
rolling index.
They're actually useful, you know. I could see
They
that
are.
being a thing that comes back.
But that's why we're not misfits. I think that, we always try to fit in, and that's why we're also a good hang. I think we fit,
Oh.
It's just that, sure, are we weird? Look at Tom. Just look at him. Right? And underdogs, for sure. For sure.
And we can do weird stuff, but we don't only do weird stuff.
No,
we
definitely not.
We do heartfelt stuff as well. But yeah, I was told by I guess I could say Richard Kirschenbaum, because he's sort of writing books now. He's got a new book out, Hollywood. What's it called? Hollywood
Fix.
Hollywood Fix. The Hollywood Fix.
For you.
He literally told me that I will never be in brand marketing. You are direct. You came here for direct, and you will never be in brand. And then 2 years later, I was in Cannes, or I wasn't in Cannes. We won a Cannes Lion, but I give him credit, because he was trying to set my, just don't overshoot your skis, and then I had to prove him wrong. So here I am.
Love that. You need that.
That's a lot nicer version of a story than the first guy I worked for who owned the agency. Some mistake had been made while I was away for Yom Kippur, one holy day, and something went wrong. And he called me into his office. He goes, "You're an account executive in drag." I was like, "Wow!" I didn't quit the spot somehow, but I was like, "I will prove you wrong."
Right?
You worked for Harvey Firestein?
Of course he
That's
did.
right.
Yeah, come on,
of
Jeff.
people don't know that.
Right. So fantastic.
He was in the Birdcage, Michael Stoopack.
If you were from Boston, it would have been the same dude.
Oh my God, that's so good. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, you get to make some shout outs now. Each one of you gets one. This is the time when we shout out a CMO, marketer, or somebody you'd just like to say hi to. It can be somebody you work with. It can be somebody you want to work with. Whatever, go for it.
I'll start with Jason, our new CMO, our latest client. Jason Cherian is from PetIQ, and he was hired by our other good friend, who's the CEO of PetIQ, Camilo Pane, who we've known since our Reckitt Benckiser days, which goes way, way back. But Jason, here's to you, buddy, for being a brave CMO who trusted us after meeting us just one time and giving us a chance on 2 of your biggest launches. And I don't think we failed you yet. So
let's not put yet in there.
Shout out to Jason.
Love it. All right.
Definitely got to
do,
shout out Wiley Kane, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely have to shout out Wiley Kane at American Century. And she was our first client, and she's brought us so many great opportunities. I've known her since 2015 when we worked on E-Trade together, and she is the best client I'd ever had.
Lovely.
There you go.
Tom.
And ours, one of ours.
I have to shout out. I'll give two. And they are the World of Hurt guys. I'll call them the World of Hurt guys. We can't say anything more than that, but they work at World of Hurt, and their names are John Reel and Jeff Labovitz, and they are launching a product, and talked to us one time, and we just clicked, and we have had such a great time helping them launch that. And this is one of those, kind of tiny equity initiatives where we come in and help a startup, and they have just been so lovely at every stage. So we can't wait to show what happens there and let everybody in on the World of Hurt.
Coming soon.
Fantastic. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
Well, there's always tinyadagency.com, but that's going through an update. So probably just email me, Michael, at tinyadagency.com, because
And follow us on LinkedIn.
Oh my God, LinkedIn.
That's where most of our activity, we have the Instagram and the TikToks and all the other pages, but we really, we're in business to be in business, and we like talking to our friends in business. So that's where we hang most.
And I
We
would
also
highly recommend it. Highly recommend it, because it's not only informative, but it's a fun follow. So do it. Again, they're a great hang. It's tiny. They're a great hang.
I'll say right now we have 2,003 followers, I believe, or 2,002 followers. When we get to 2026 followers, that 2026 follower, we're going to do something a little special for.
Love it.
So let's watch.
Oh yeah, we'll watch that space
every year. Hopefully,
Thank
we
you
will
guys. TiNY, because it's New York.
Not gonna work.
TiNY. Mike, and Tom, thank you so much for taking the time. And if you want to get in touch with him, you can do that. So, all right, this has been Meet an Indie Agency. Thank you so much for listening. Bye now.